we'll see what our ground speed is and be able to calculate pivotal altitude from that. But first, the setup is the hardest part. Yeah, you just got to make sure you didn't lose your points on this teardrop entry.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. There you go. Oh yeah, I see
what I mean? Yeah, see how it's still dead center in the middle?
Yeah, and then now we switch over to just this way.
Yep. And
what up, guys? Welcome back to Adventure Aviator. I'm Raiden Crittenden, full-time flight instructor and a professional aviation counselor. In today's video, we're breaking down the maneuver 8s on pylons. It breaks down all the key concepts and exactly what that examiner is looking for. Once we get the theory down, we'll jump into the cockpit and we'll see how it actually flies. We'll cover how to successfully set it up, and in my opinion, the setup is the hardest part of this maneuver, and get you ready to ace it on your check ride. Stick to the end of this video where I will reveal my secret so you don't bust this maneuver on your check ride. Alright, we are setting up for 8s on pylons. Remember, the setup is the hardest part. We're starting at 1,000 feet AGL and 100 knots in a Cessna 172 or Piper Archer. Alright, step 1, the initial setup and entry. First, we're flying with our 2 pylons off the left side. Well, the wind is from the right. And we want to choose 2 pylons that are easy to see. Alright, so once we found our first 2 pylons, or really our first pylon, so as we're flying parallel and our pylons are off our left side, as we cross that first one, we're going to count to 10 to 15 seconds until we're abeam the second pylon. Then from there, we're going to fly out another 5 seconds and begin a right teardrop entry so we can enter in between the 2 pylons. The goal is to roll out centered directly between the 2 pylons. During that teardrop entry, we have a critical job. We need to calculate our pivotal altitude. How do we do that? Our formula for pivotal altitude is ground speed squared divided by 11.3. Are we actually going to be able to do that math calculating in our head while doing a teardrop entry, setting up, stressed out on a commercial check ride? Let's be honest. There is a pivotal altitude chart you can download it on your iPad. And so all we have to do is calculate our ground speed. Once we figure out our ground speed, we just look at our iPad, look at our chart, and be like, okay, cool, our ground speed is 110. So if our ground speed is 110 knots, our pivotal altitude is 1,071 feet above the ground. So this is why I start at 1,000 feet AGL. So now all we have to do is climb 71 feet and we are at pivotal altitude. Since we have that tailwind behind us as we make that right teardrop entry, we are now at our fastest ground speed and our highest pivotal altitude. So we're at 1,071 feet AGL. As we are going in between the 2 pylons, we're going to bug our entry heading. At this point, we are at our fastest ground speed, and therefore we have our highest pivotal altitude for the maneuver. Now we can really start the maneuver. We begin with our pylon on our left wing. We fly past it for just a moment, and once that pylon passes under the left wing, we smoothly wing over and bank into the turn and start tracking it. And since we're starting in this tailwind, our ground speed is high and our pivotal altitude is also high. And we know as we are coming around this pylon, our ground speed is going to slow because we're going into a headwind. We can anticipate that and just smoothly start pushing down so we stay on our pivotal altitude. And once we are at this point, we are at our slowest ground speed and our lowest pivotal altitude. This is why we need to make sure we have 2 points we can easily see so we don't lose track of our second pylon, because now we're pretty far away from that second pylon. We still need to have an eye on that second pylon. This is the core of the maneuver. I call it chasing the pylon. As we turn into the headwind, our ground speed decreases and our pivotal altitude gets lower. The rule for the pylon, if the pylon moves ahead of the wing, you're too high. Pitch down and chase it. If the pylon moves behind the wing, you're too low. Pitch up to correct it. Make all corrections smooth. If you make too big of corrections, you're constantly fighting that pivotal altitude, because if you pitch up too fast, then you lose too much airspeed, and then your ground speed's constantly changing. So all of your pitch movements have to be real slow and smooth. As we're coming around this pylon, this is when we transition to the second pylon. As we complete this turn from our first pylon, now we'll transition to our second pylon that's off our right wing. And again, this is our fastest ground speed and our highest pivotal altitude. We should be about the same altitude that we started our maneuver at. So 1,070 feet above the ground. And then as we're coming around this pylon, we know that our ground speed is going to slow, and so our pivotal altitude also decreases. And at this point, this is our lowest ground speed and our lowest pivotal altitude. We keep coming around this pylon, and we apply the same correction rules. We're chasing the pylon with pitch. As we come back to our bug cutting, we should be at the same altitude we started. Master this setup and you'll own this maneuver on your check ride.
And I don't see any towers, so I think we'll do
see one over there, but it doesn't look that big.
that tiny one in that field. Yeah. So I think we're gonna do 8 on pylons here.
Okay.
I think that's more of like a flagpole.
I think it's actually just for watering field.
Oh, yeah, for like a farmer's field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd make this. Okay, so what I'm thinking is
It'd be a nice spot to land.
we use this house, or that little shed, as our first point.
Yeah.
So let's fly out, recover.
Everyone on the highway thought we were going down.
Alright, so we got our first point. Let's count 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That church is our second point.
Okay, sounds good. So we found both of our points, now we're gonna do a teardrop, right?
Yep.
Then we wanna go in and turn towards the church, right?
Now let's use the white building first.
Okay.
Because it'll be off our left wing.
Gotcha.
And then pivotal altitude. So right now,
We are about, right now we're probably about 1,000 feet.
1,300. Let's 1,200. About 1,200.
Alright, I got the white box.
Yeah, I'd keep turning in.
Yeah. I wanna go in between.
I'd start descending just a little bit.
Yeah. Go in between the church and the white building right there.
Ground speed of 80. So our pivotal altitude at 80 is 600.
Start descending a little bit. Oh god. It's bumpy. Yeah, so church on our right, this white building on our middle. Looks like the wind's pushing us that way a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start turning in a little bit.
Ground speed of 80.
And our heading is about 015. So we're gonna go ahead and start
I go out just a little bit farther.
a little bit further.
Yep.
Do you want to be lined up and start turning?
Yeah. I was talking, or which?
Are you
using
talking
the
about this
box?
one? I'm talking about that one right there.
Okay, I was talking about that, but this
Oh.
this works. Yep,
Okay, I'm locked in on that one with the brown dirt around it.
Okay, I like it. Sorry, there's 5 white buildings.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty bad. We're about 1,900 feet. We're about 700 feet above the ground. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm locked in on that white box with the dirt.
Yes. Looks good.
At Pullman Traffic Warrior,
It's slightly in front of us. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna two pitch down.
Perfect.
And now we got it about right on us.
Yep.
Keep that turn coming around it. We're about losing a little altitude. Got a little touch of power.
I got that tower inside. We're good.
Trying to get in front of us a little bit again. So we're gonna pitch down a little more. Alright, now it's getting behind us, so we're gonna pitch up.
Nice.
Still at 1,700. Alright, now we're getting ahead of it. Alright, see that church too? We're gonna
Yep.
keep
We
going
didn't
now.
lose our second point.
Gainesville Traffic 5316 Hotel, taxiing from Lanier South to runway 5, Gainesville.
Alright.
Nice. Very, very good.
Then lock in on our church. We're gonna go right between both, and then once we get lined up with our church, we're gonna start circling the church.
Yeah. This is a perfect 8 on pylon.
Got a little
So far.
altitude I want to get back, so I'm just gonna climb a little bit. Yeah. Alright.
Yep.
We're about to be locked in on our church now. And there we go. We're gonna start our turn. The same distance. Alright, it's a little in front of us. We're gonna pitch down. We're gonna keep that turn coming. It's a little in front of us now. We're gonna pitch down a little more. Okay, coming in.
Gainesville traffic, Sirius 563, Mike, champion, taxiing out to runway 5, Gainesville.
A little in front of us still. We're gonna pitch down a little more. We're going. Return coming.
Gainesville traffic, Skyhawk 1006 Victor, linear flight center, taxi 5, Gainesville.
Get pushed towards it a little bit of the wind.
That's okay.
And there's our other object.
Very nice.
Alright, is that good?
Yep.
I know we got pushed like...
There's a bird.
Cool. Alright, let's get out of here.
Yep. No, that was perfect.
Thanks for sticking it out to the end of this video. Now for the big secret to help you pass this on your check ride. Seems pretty pointless. The truth is, examiners hate this maneuver. They do it because they have to. They just want to see a figure 8 on the map. Some examiners do it at 2,000 feet over the ground. Some examiners make you do it over the runway. It's tedious, but this works out in your favor, I promise. The easiest way to pass this maneuver is take your time as you're setting up. Just make sure you find 2 solid pylons. I promise you. Make sure you have 2 solid pylons. You don't lose your pylons. You verbally talk through this maneuver. The examiner knows you have this maneuver under your belt. Narrate what you're doing so that the examiner understands, oh, he knows what pivotal altitude is. He might have got off it for a second, but maybe we're looking at 2 different things. The why is the important part. If the pylon's in front of you, pitch down. If the pylon's behind you, pitch up. This proves to the examiner that you understand the core concept of this maneuver. He's not looking for... Honestly, I don't even know how you bust on this maneuver if you don't make that figure 8 and you lose your pylon as you're going and you just get flustered. Thanks again for staying to the end of this video. I'm Adventure Aviator. Out.